Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Education London, and this is a full walkthrough of the GCSE English Language Paper 1, Section B. So as many of you have requested, I've decided to answer the entire question and guide you on how to score a grade 9. And also I'll be providing you with some top tips in how to approach this question. And importantly, this question which I'm looking at right now, it's for the Edexcel exam board, but whether you're AQA or Edexcel or even Educas, the same concepts apply. Okay, so the same ideas are applicable throughout different exam boards. Okay, so hopefully we are going to have a better understanding by the end of the video of how to answer this question. So let's get started. So section B, imaginative writing. Answer one question. You should spend about 45 minutes on this section. So we are going to spend 45 minutes, the full time dedicated for this question. Write your answer in the space provided. So you get to choose between either 5 or 6. So the first question here we have is question 5. Write about a time when you or someone you know stood up for something important. Your response could be real or imagined. Your response would be marked for the accurate and appropriate use of vocabulary, important, spelling, punctuation and grammar, and the total marks available is 40 marks. Or question 6, look at the images provided, write about a time when the weather was memorable. Okay, so a time when the weather was memorable. Your response could be real or imagined. You may wish to base your response on one of the images. Your response would be marked for the accurate and appropriate use of vocabulary, spelling, punctuation and grammar. And that as well is also worth 40 marks. So let's have a look at the picture and then that can be used as a starting point for our plan. So here we have a picture of a man who's carrying an umbrella, and you can clearly see that the weather is aggressive, it's powerful, there's a lot of rain, heavy winds, and he's struggling to hold his umbrella. Okay, and you can see almost his jacket. Okay, his jacket, his hair is again flying. Everything is almost being swayed from left to right. So you can clearly see he's struggling due to the weather. And again, it seems like he's in a metropolis. It could be in a city such as New York or even London. The second image provided is a picture of two children who are building a sandcastle near a beach. So I am actually going to base my story based on this picture, and we are going to create a plan as well. So whenever we plan, remember this, please make a note of it. You always have to use your 5 senses. Okay, so whenever you look at the picture, ask yourself, what can I see? Okay, what can I smell? What can I taste? What can I hear? And what I can touch. Okay, so I'm just going to go over it very briefly and discuss it in further detail. So when I am teaching my own students, I always reiterate the importance of putting yourself in the picture and imagining yourself in the very picture. So let's look at the 5 senses and let's discuss it in further detail. Now, do I have to strictly be using this picture? No, but I can use it to give me ideas. Now, I can use this picture and then transition from one location to another. That's completely fine. So again, it's completely fine if you want to alter the picture and add things, because remember, you are using your imagination. So the first thing, the most obvious thing, I'm going to start off with what you can hear. Now, if I take the picture, what can I hear? I can definitely hear the wind. Okay, so you already know that when you're describing here, the wind is something that you can discuss in further detail. You may want to personify the wind, and you want to show how aggressive the wind really is. Also, what can you possibly hear? You can possibly hear the rain. Okay, so the rain, you can probably hear the raindrops. What could you smell? Possibly petrichor. Could be smelling petrichor. And then you can move on to see. What can you see? Think about what you can see. So I know there's we don't have any pictures of trees, but you could probably see trees swaying from left to right. Or even here, to be honest, you can use personification to personify how the trees are begging for mercy, okay, because they are struggling to deal with the aggression of the wind, okay. Again, in terms of touch, think about what can you touch. So again, you could possibly be touching the leaves, you could be touching many other things as well. So I'm just going to write here leaves, okay. I'm going to highlight that as well. And also in terms of taste, what could you taste? Think about what you can taste. Again, it could be actual food, but it could be the air. Metaphorically, how does the air taste as well? Okay. Now, again, this is just a starting point, but you can use these ideas to expand in further detail. Now, remember, when we are answering this question, we need to definitely be using a variety of, number one, language, okay, and number two, structure. Very important. I said this before in a previous video. Language and structure is absolutely crucial for this type of question. And thirdly, the use of AV. AV is ambitious vocabulary. You have to use it consistently throughout your answer. And number four, you need to definitely check your spag. Yeah. So these are 4 points that you need to consider, and use this as a checklist when answering this question. So what we'll do is we'll get started, and I'll do a full walkthrough and explain how you are expected to score the top marks. So let's go over to the exam paper. So as you can see, we are answering question 6. So again, this space here I've used to plan. So write about a time when the weather was memorable. I know that when I'm writing, I need to be using simile, metaphor, personification, pathetic fallacy, alliteration, etc. Ambitious vocabulary is important. So don't just use it in the first paragraph, but use it throughout your answer. Variety of sentence types and punctuation. So don't just start your sentences with the or as I. Use a verb opener, use an adverb opener, use a simile opener. And don't just use commas and full stops. You may want to include a hyphen, a dash, a semicolon, etc. And again, you're looking to write around 4 to 6 paragraphs, and make sure you spend the last 5 minutes to check. So again, we're 7 minutes in, so this is a good time to start. So again, based on our plan, if you remember, we can start off with any of our senses, okay? So I could potentially start off with what I can hear, okay? So let's start off with the wind. We're going to be talking about the wind and how that was something that was memorable, okay? So in simple terms, I could start off with a simile. So like a pack of wolves, comma, the wind howled through the air, So remember, I'm using my 5 senses here. Tearing with a ferocity, that sent shivers down my spine. Okay, so that's using show not tell. So instead of saying I was scared, I was nervous, you're showing these emotions. Now, based on our plan, if I go back, I can also hear the rain, as you can see here. Whoops, what did I do there? I can also see the rain. Sorry, not see. I can hear the rain. So I'm going to start plugging that in as well. So I would go on to say something like raindrops. So let's describe and provide some information about the raindrops. So raindrops fell from the sky, comma, each one, you might want to personify this as well, each one a teardrop, as if the heavens themselves were weeping. Okay, full stop. So that's powerful, that's evocative, okay? And it makes your writing much more sophisticated. So remember, when you're narrating and you're writing your answer, try to be sophisticated with your answer. Roaring like an angry lion. Let's use a simile opener. Roaring like an angry lion, comma, the thunder shook the ground beneath my feet. Okay, then full stop. Now I can start bringing in. If you've noticed, students, I'm consistently referring to my senses. I'm describing my surroundings. Okay, that's something that you can always do when answering your creative writing task. Let's use some personification now to describe what I can see. Dancing across the sky. Dancing across the sky, comma. So again, what have I used here? I've used a verb opener to show the examiner a variety of sentences that I'm using. Dancing across the sky, the lightning illuminated. Sorry, let me just scroll down. Illuminated the darkness. Illuminated the darkness with its electrifying presence. Okay, so that's my first paragraph. Okay, so just very quickly, like a pack of wolves, the wind howled through the air, tearing with a ferocity that sent shivers down my spine. Again, I've used a simile opener to show sentence variation. The wind howled, okay, that's using auditory imagery. You can hear the sounds. Raindrops fell from the sky, each one a teardrop, as if the heavens themselves were weeping. Okay, look at that description. Okay, as if the heavens themselves were weeping. Look how powerful that is and how impactful that really is. Roaring like an angry lion. I've used a simile opener. The thunder shook the ground beneath my feet. So that can fall under touch. It's almost as if you can feel it. Dancing across the sky. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight it just to show you all where you're picking up the marks. Maybe we can do it in yellow. So like a pack of wolves, that's an example of a simile opener. Dancing across the sky. This is a verb opener. The lightning illuminated the darkness with its electrifying presence. Another important one I've used here. Raindrops fell from the sky, each one a teardrop, as if the heavens themselves were weeping. So all these highlighted parts here, these are things that the examiner will be impressed with. Okay, so that's that. So let's move on to paragraph 2 and continue continuously use these devices. So if you recall, I am following my checklist from my plan, and I always tell you all, refer to your plan. Okay, always consistently flick back and have a look at your plan. So that's paragraph 1. Let's move on to paragraph 2. So for paragraph 2, I want to, if I just go back to my plan, I'm going to start describing the trees and how they were impacted by the weather. So let's have a look at that and in further detail. So let's start off with a compound adjective this time. So we can say, well, actually, we can switch up. Let's begin by saying swaying. And let's use swaying and bowing. Okay. Comma. The trees. What did we say in our plan if we go back? What did we say? Yeah, the trees, we can personify them. Okay, we can personify the trees as in they are begging for mercy. So the trees reached out their branches reached out their branches in a desperate plea for mercy. Okay? For mercy, because they are suffering, okay, due to the weather conditions. And then pelted against my window pane, comma, the raindrops created a symphony of nature's raw power. You could say of nature's raw power. You could say authority or dominance. Of nature's raw power, comma, we can use a simile, like a thousand tiny drum beats. Okay? Drum beats, and then full stop. So that's fine. And now you can talk about how it's impacted you. So in the face of such a majestic display of nature's might. Remember, here you need an apostrophe, yeah? Of nature's might, comma, I couldn't help but feel a sense of insignificance. Okay? So you are essentially hopeless here. Full stop. So maybe we can even use, remember, oxymoron, juxtaposition. These are some devices that you can add to really impress the examiner. So let's plug in some contrast here. So chaos and beauty. Okay, look at how I've used these two words. Chaos and beauty. Chaos and beauty intertwined. Okay, intertwined. I could personify this, but again, I think here is intertwined is fine. Chaos and beauty intertwined, comma, destruction and awe-inspiring wonder coexisted. No, actually there's no hyphen here. Let me go back. Coexisted. Full stop. Okay. And then I'll move on to the next paragraph. I do want to start off with an adverb, and I want to start bringing in the storm itself and touch on that. So gradually, so new paragraph, gradually, comma, the storm began to subside. Okay, full stop. The rain transformed into a gentle drizzle. Comma, and sorry, what happened there? And the cloud, and the clouds, hang on. Yeah, and the clouds started to part. So we're trying to say that the clouds eventually began to, go their own ways. Okay, and that as a result, okay, was revealing a glimmer of sunlight. Full stop. Washed away by the storm. So now I'm talking about how the storm has been, it's disappeared, and now there's a new beginning, essentially. Okay, so you're going to show that through your writing. So washed away by the storm, comma, worries and troubles dissipated. So that means like almost disappeared or faded away. Dissipated. Okay, comma, leaving behind a sense of calm, or leaving behind a sense of tranquility. A sense of tranquility. Okay, full stop. And then I can move on to the next paragraph by saying, as the storm gradually, so I can say as the storm gradually subsided, comma, the clouds began to part like curtains. Okay, so it's paving a new way. Okay, to part like curtains, unveiling a breathtaking scene. Okay, it's almost as if it was hiding the beauty of the sun, unveiling a breathtaking scene. A breathtaking scene. Full stop. The sun emerged. So now this is where you bring in the sun. The sun emerged from the, you could say from the veil. Okay, as if it was hiding. Yeah, this is what we're trying to suggest. The sun emerged from the veil, casting its golden rays. Okay, so that's a metaphor. Yeah, remember you have to use a variety of language devices. It's golden rays upon the world below. Okay, upon the world below. Then full stop. The rain soaked. I could say the rain hyphen soaked. So the rain soaked earth. Now I want to describe how it's affected the land. So the rain soaked earth glistened like a diamond. So I'm using a simile here. Like a diamond. Reflecting. Remember there are many colors. So reflecting. Let's use the word vibrant. Reflecting the vibrant. Let's scroll down. Reflecting the vibrant. The vibrant is an adjective here. Reflecting the vibrant colors of the newly bloomed flowers. Okay, so it's almost like we've got a new world, a new life, newly bloomed flowers. So, you know, life is re-emerging. It's almost a new beginning. Okay, so this is what I'm suggesting. A sense of serenity. That's almost like a sibilance. A sense of serenity. A sense of serenity washed over me. Washed over me, comma, like a warm embrace. like a warm embrace from nature itself. From nature itself. Okay, and then full stop. And then maybe we can start the next paragraph with a prepositional phrase. So we could say, now, the storm had left us. So before it was in front of us, we're describing it. Now it's behind us. So let's use a prepositional phrase for the next paragraph. So with the storm behind us, with the storm behind us, comma, the atmosphere seemed to exhale, let's personify it, to exhale a sigh of relief. Okay? Sigh of relief. Excuse the handwriting, I am just using this pen. With the storm behind us, the atmosphere seemed to exhale a sigh of relief. As in, we're saying that it's being personified, as in, thank God the storm is now behind us and we can look forward to a new beginning. So here we can also bring in the air. I know we said using our five senses, so we can bring in the air. So we can say the air, comma, once heavy and charged, comma, now felt crisp and rejuvenating. Okay, it's like a new beginning. Rejuvenating. Okay, full stop. So can you see this paragraph is key in terms of structure? I'm shifting the focus from what had happened before. Due to the storm, it was gloomy, it was dingy, but now it's a new beginning. Now remember, your senses, I want to bring in smell as well. So if I go back to my plan, always refer to your plan. For smell, we said we could smell petrichor. So let's just zoom in. So let's bring in the smell of petrichor and how that can be used as well. So remember, petrichor is this distinct smell in the land after rainfall. So I could say the scent of petrichor, comma, that earthy aroma. You can even explain it briefly. Whoops, that earthy aroma after rainfall. After rainfall. And then you can write literally after rainfall, comma, filled my nostrils. Filled my nostrils. Okay. Comma, awakening a sense of nostalgia. Okay, and tranquility. Tranquility I've used before. It's fine, should be okay. Full stop. Now again, I can also bring in birds and what I can see. So birds may emerge, okay, from hiding places now that the sunlight or the sun is out. Okay, nature is alive, nature is reborn. So this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, all because of the weather, and this is something that I witnessed myself with my very own eyes, and that's what is, and that is what is memorable to me. So birds emerged from, you could say, from their hiding places, comma, remember, what sounds do they make? You can talk about the sounds as well. They're melodious songs, echoing, okay, echoing through the air, comma, as if celebrating the return of calmness and harmony. Of calmness and harmony. Okay, full stop. So I could even use a hyperbole here or a metaphor to exaggerate. It was, sorry if I go back, it was Victory Day. Victory Day for nature. Okay, full stop. Okay, and then we can move on to the next paragraph. So it's almost, I'm mesmerized, I'm shocked, I'm surprised how things have changed. Okay, everything is now reborn, and you know, it's an impactful feeling. It's something that I've never witnessed before. So in this moment of stillness, you could say, in this moment of stillness, comma, I couldn't help. So you could say, I couldn't help but appreciate the power. You could say the power and resilience of nature. Okay, the storm had reminded me. The storm had reminded me of the beauty that lies within both chaos and tranquility. Okay, comma, and how they intertwine to create a harmonious balance in the world. Okay, full stop. So, and then the final paragraph, I could talk about the impact that the storm really had, and just wrap up my answer really. So I could say literally something along the lines of, let's say the storm had. Okay, let's begin by saying the storm had left its mark. Okay, semicolon. Remember apostrophe, nature's canvas now adorned with vibrant hues. So vibrant, we spoke about hues, is again referring to the different shades of colors, and a new and a renewed sense of life. So remember what I mentioned previously, it's like a new beginning, a renewed sense of life, full stop. The flowers, resilient, so let's use a compound adjective, resilient, and let's use determined. Okay, so that's a compound adjective. Stood tall. Okay, so that's visual imagery. Stood tall, comma, their petals kissed by raindrops. Okay, so I'm personifying it. Dash, each one Okay, each one a testament, to their strength and beauty, to their strength and beauty. Full stop. It was as if the storm had washed away the old, okay, you could say making way or paving the path. Well, I could say making the way or making way for a fresh chapter, full stop. Whoops. A new beginning. Okay, full stop. And that is it. Okay, so that is my answer, again written in the time allocated. So again, you should spend around, I would say personally, half an hour, 30 minutes to 35 minutes of writing. So I've spent around 30 minutes answering this question. Now, what I need to do for the last 5 minutes is to check over my answer and correct it. But also remember, you need to check your plan as well. The 5 minutes at the beginning you'd use for your plan. So in total, you get 45 minutes for this question. So let's just go over the answer and show you all how this was able to, be an advanced answer or an excellent answer on the higher ends of the mark scheme. So I'm just going to use a highlighter. We'll use yellow. So I know the first paragraph we've spoken about, but second paragraph I've begun by saying swaying and bowing. Okay, look, a variety of sentence openers you have to use. The trees reached out their branches in a desperate plea for mercy. Look at that. Okay, and they reached out. I'm personifying it. Okay, so it's showing you the desperation of the trees. They are suffering. Okay, and they're begging for mercy. And then, if I just zoom in, pelted against my window pane, the raindrops created a symphony of nature's raw power. Look at that. Again, that's auditory imagery. You can almost hear it. You can imagine it. Like 1,000 tiny drum beats. Okay, excellent. Like 1,000 tiny drum beats. So that, students, is an example of a simile. In the face of such a majestic display, so I'm going to highlight majestic, great use of the adjective, majestic, display of nature's might, I couldn't help but feel a sense of insignificance. Chaos and beauty intertwined. Notice that. Chaos and beauty intertwined. So that is an example, as you can see here. It's a contrast. Chaos and beauty intertwined, destruction and awe-inspiring wonder coexisted. So I'm saying, the storm was chaotic, right? But at the same time, due to all this chaos, it did create beauty. And that beauty we're referring to is nature. Okay, so look at how simple but effective this really is. And then the next paragraph, I'm going to say, gradually the storm began to subside. Okay, notice I am consistently using a variety of sentence openers. Now, unfortunately, a lot of students, they seem to just keep on repeating themselves. They keep on saying the, or as I. It becomes boring and it becomes repetitive. So gradually the storm began to subside, the rain transformed into a gentle drizzle, and the clouds started to part, revealing a glimmer of sunlight. Okay, so look at that. Revealing a glimmer of sunlight. So if you think about structure, this is where the actual shift is starting to begin. Okay, washed away by the storm, worries and troubles dissipated. Look at that. Excellent. Worries and troubles dissipated, because now everyone can see that change is about to occur, leaving behind a sense of tranquility. As the storm gradually subsided, the clouds began to part like curtains, unveiling a breathtaking scene. Okay, so look, they decided to part like curtains, unveiling a breathtaking scene. So that, my students, is an example of a simile. Okay, and it's showing you the change, what is happening, the heavy rain, the aggressive wind. It's now starting to fade away, starting to disappear, and there's this new beginning. Now, this is where I bring in the sun. The sun emerged from the veil. Okay, so look at the complex way I've said that. It's almost, I'm creating this impression that the sun was hiding, casting its golden rays upon the world. Okay, golden rays upon the world. So this is like, it's again, it's life changing, and it's bringing a sense of hope. Golden rays, that's a great example, okay, of a metaphor. You're describing the sun's rays as golden. Okay, remember, I've used the word golden intentionally here to show how valuable and how beautiful it really was. The rain-soaked earth glistened like a diamond, reflecting the vibrant colors of the newly bloomed flowers. Excellent. That's a fantastic example. So again, that transition I'm showing through the impact of the sunlight. Okay, now we've got newly bloomed flowers, so the flowers are beginning to actually grow and create these amazing and vibrant colors. A sense of serenity. That's almost like a sibilance. Again, it was unintentional, but again, that could work potentially as a sibilance. A sense of serenity washed over me like a warm embrace from nature itself. With the storm behind us, okay, so look, I've used a prepositional phrase. So now, if you've noticed in terms of structure, before the storm was in front of us, right, in my story, but now it's behind us. The atmosphere seemed to exhale a sigh of relief. Okay, so that's personification. Okay, so the atmosphere is relieved because it was going through this punishment. The air, once heavy and charged, now felt crisp and rejuvenating. Look at that. Okay, excellent. Look at these adjectives that I've used here. Once it was heavy and charged, but now it's crisp and rejuvenating. So, as you can see, I'm consistently using a variety of language devices. I'm using a variety of structural devices as well, to show a shift in focus from one idea to another. And then now I move on to describing using my five senses, which I'm doing consistently, which you all should be doing as well. The scent of petrichor, that earthy aroma after rainfall, filled my nostrils, awakening a sense of nostalgia and tranquility. So if you've noticed here, great examples of sensory language. Birds emerged from their hiding places, their melodious songs echoing. Okay, melodious, that's a great word. Echoing through the air, as if celebrating the return of calmness and harmony. It was Victory Day for nature. Okay, notice that. Look. Okay, so if I just highlight that, it was Victory Day for nature. Melodious. Look at the words I'm using in my answer. Songs echoing through the air. Okay, so again, auditory imagery. In this moment of stillness, I couldn't help but appreciate the power and resilience of nature. The storm had reminded me of the beauty that lies within both chaos and tranquility. Look at that contrast and how they intertwine to create a harmonious balance in the world. So again, I'm consistently referring to these ideas, chaos and tranquility. So the storm and the sunlight, it's almost like this battle between the two. But the battle is one which is fought between the two, but eventually it still creates and illustrates the beauty of nature. Look how complex that is. And then after that, the last and final paragraph, the storm had left its mark. Semicolon. Look, I've used a semicolon for effect. So remember, you have to use a variety of punctuation. Nature's canvas now adorned with vibrant hues, okay, and a renewed sense of life. So vibrant hues here, they're referring to the different colors and the blooming of flowers, okay, the reds, the greens, the blues, the yellows, etc. So it's bright, okay, and the world is alive again. The flowers, resilient and determined. What have I done here? I've used, If I go back, the flowers resilient and determined. I've here also used a compound adjective. Stood tall, their petals kissed by raindrops. Okay, their petals kissed by raindrops. So here I've used personification. Okay, great example of that. So simple but effective. Dash. Okay, if you notice the dash, remember dash we used for emphasis. Each one a testament to their strength and beauty. Excellent. It was if the storm. No, hang on. There's a mistake there. So let me do it on blue. It was as if. Yes, that's correct. Hang on. It was as if the storm had washed away the old, making way for a fresh chapter. Full stop. A new beginning. Excellent. That ending is really, really important. And it's a great way to end the story. And that is it for the question. I hope this has given you all a better understanding of how to approach the exam. And this exactly took 45 minutes, which is the designated time for the exam. I hope this has given you all an understanding of how to approach this in the exam. Now, all you have to do now is practice under time conditions. Now, if you do require help, we do offer online tuition for students in year 10 and year 11, and all across primary and secondary school as well. So if you are interested in our online tuition classes where you'll be supported and be provided with weekly feedback for your answers, please contact our website www.easyeducationlondon.com, or alternatively you can email us at easyeducationlondon@gmail.com. I hope you all found this video informative and beneficial. If you'd like to see anything else or any other answers or full walkthroughs, please let us know in the comment section. Other than that, please subscribe, like and share for more. Thank you.